And so in less than 48 hours time, we will be getting the 8th anniversary character teaser trailer. It's always a fun time when they release because it allows us, the community, to try and come together and guess and predict on who the upcoming anniversary character will be. The trailers are always super cryptic, but they also at the same time give us enough to speculate on what the character could be. And since we're so close to that official date, June 23rd is when we will be getting that 8th anniversary character teaser trailer, I thought it would be a fun idea to go back, look at the past anniversary trailers once more, talk about what the community was thinking when these trailers released, especially if you are a new player. Maybe some of you lads don't even know or have seen any of these trailers, especially because Caleb do like to unfortunately remove a lot of these trailers. Like the trailers we're about to watch today, all the anniversary trailers, not all of them are actually public on their channel. Not sure why, but we are going to look at them all together, and I guess use these as examples too on what to expect when it comes to the 8th anniversary character teaser trailer. And in the comments below, let me know what your favorite trailer was, and also at the same time, let me know if you're someone that hasn't actually seen some of these trailers. Maybe you weren't playing at the time, didn't even know this trailer existed. I'm curious to know if there's anyone actually out there that actually hasn't seen these trailers. But with that said, let's start off with the 3rd anniversary. Now you might be wondering, why are we starting off with the 3rd anniversary? Well, keep in mind, Caleb really didn't think that much ahead when it comes to the anniversary characters. The first anniversary character in the game was actually for the 2nd anniversary, and we never got a trailer. And it's because of that reason it made this particular trailer all the more exciting, because this came out of nowhere. This was the first time they ever did a teaser trailer, and this has basically been the standard since now basically 5 years later. So you can only imagine the excitement of the community logging into the game, not expecting anything, and getting a trailer. 3rd anniversary. Green flames start appearing, supervising designer, Taite Kubo, and then we also get 3rd anniversary coming soon. Such an exciting time. Honestly, this was like crazy when they officially released it. So let's talk about that, right? What was there to work off in this particular trailer? Well, the main thing, in hindsight, was the green flames. That was the main thing that a lot of people were looking at when it came to trying to guess who this character could potentially be. That's all you could really work with, right? Nowadays, we get quotes, and that gives us more information, but back then for the 3rd anniversary, the first time they ever did it, it was only the green flames. And you know what? That was enough information. A lot of people, myself included, thought the upcoming character would be Aaroniero. Now, this is a rare thing. We don't always get these, keep in mind. This was a 2nd character teaser trailer. Nowadays, we only get one, and then we get the official reveal on the Bankai livestream. I think the reason for that is to make it so it's more exciting. We don't know who the character is until it officially gets revealed. We've had a few examples though where they actually give us too much information with the 2nd trailer, and then we know going into the Bankai livestream when the character does officially get revealed on what the character will be. So this was the 2nd trailer. These, if we ever do get a 2nd trailer, would drop around July 10th. That's usually the day that they drop it. Coincidentally, it's my birthday, by the way. But this was the 2nd trailer that we did get for Aaroniero, right? Oh, more so, this is what you would normally expect from the 1st trailer, but this was gas. The music kicks in, the Brave Souls battle enters a new dimension, and then you see Aaroniero in the back. When the power awakens, it's still to this day so gas. And then we get the silhouette of the character on July 23rd. This was absolutely insanely hype. And like that's the thing, right? This, I guess, anniversary wasn't even trying to guess who the character was be. It was just building up the character's hype, because this is exactly what this trailer did, right? We get the same thing that we saw before, the flames, and then we get like little jump cuts to the character's eye, you know, basically showing us the character's new design, but not revealing the character's new design. And then just this text here, Brave Souls entering a new dimension, was so cool. The power awakens, and it's this text that led a lot of people to think the upcoming character would be Power, and Aaroniero is a Power character. But then this is also the first time we got to hear the OST too, and the OST just sounds so cool. And then it ends with a heartbeat, which coincidentally isn't the first time they actually do this. They do this multiple times, surprisingly. But that was basically the 3rd anniversary character, right? Now, after that, our next anniversary character was actually New Year's Ichigo. I do class him as an anniversary character, and he's a rare case, and we spoke about this in the past. The reason why this character exists is because we didn't have 1000-Year Blood War or a novel banner to have at the end of the year. Caleb liked to, especially after the 3rd anniversary, Anniversary Part 2 and the end of year has to end on something exciting like a 1000-Year Blood banner, a novel banner, for example, or potentially someone like Dangai Ichigo Monster Aizen. And when it came to the end of year of 2019, 1000-Year Blood War was done, round 1 to 4 was done, and they couldn't just give us normal premium characters, so Caleb knew they had to do something special, and that's why we got this particular character. Again, this was the first and only time they ever gave us an original form character that wasn't part of a novel collaboration, for example, for the end of year. And this again came out of nowhere. So exciting too. Like the trailer itself is really cool. We're getting Ichigo's past forms. Then we see this, the Hitotro. I probably butchered that. I apologize. I've had years to practice it and I butchered it. But once more, we get another silhouette of the character. This is usually the concept art that we get, and they surprisingly have put it in the character trailers a few times. And like in this one's funny too because they outright just confirmed the character. Like they didn't even let us guess. I mean, granted it was Ichigo. We all knew that to begin with, but this was more so Ichigo's coming out at the end of the year. Get ready. This was at the same time they had the Jump Festa live stream. They were going big at the end of the year. And then we get this particular design. And again, we don't really see much of the character's design, but we do see enough that this is going to be a Quincy Ichigo. We can see the blood vein in his eye. That was really exciting. And then we can also hear with the character design that he is building a bow. So this was a really cool character teaser trailer. Super exciting. And then maybe like a couple of days later, we didn't really have much time to sit on that particular trailer because literally in less than a week's time, we then get the official reveal. Super exciting start to going through all his forms. 2019, and here we go. I love this. Instantly shows the character's art, the music is cool, and then we're cycling through his past forms. Because remember, we call this form Quincy Ichigo, but it's Hollow, Soriba, and Quincy powers combined to make a ultimate powerful attack. That's the idea with this character, but we just call him Quincy Ichigo because it was the first time we saw that. This still is so sick. Man, gas, so gas. What I love about it is just like the heartbeat and the constant dip to blacks with the Sobum looking as cool as it is. Such a cool trailer. And then you get the full reveal in HD. Get ready for the future. This was definitely something to get excited for. That character was super exciting, and the trailers, I think, did a good job actually revealing that too and hyping up the release of the character. But 6 months after that, we then got the 4th anniversary teaser trailer, and this one was really cool. This one baited a lot of people. So once more, we had the trend of looking back at the past anniversary characters. This, by the way, is the only time they ever included 2019 Quincy Ichigo, for example. After this trailer, whenever they look back at the past anniversary characters, he's never included. But in this case, this was, I guess, the start of the trend of them hinting the characters with quotes. So in this case, we had 2 quotes. So we knew right from the get-go there was going to be 2 anniversary characters. Absolute victory and complete silence, furious power, and also emotion. Now this one, super easy. Super easy. Everyone saw this one coming. Absolute victory and complete silence was Mugetsu, Dangai Ichigo. We knew that without a doubt. Furious power and emotion, since the left one is clearly hinting at Dangai Ichigo, we all thought that finally we're getting an anniversary Aizen because that makes sense. Furious power and emotion. If you know the obviously results, this came at a complete shock. Plus, additionally, the way the trailer ends too, with the glass shattering, we all thought Aizen. And then once more, it ends with a heartbeat. Like that's been a trend the last 3 trailers. They end with a heartbeat. But the glass shattering potentially representing or hinting at Kyoka Suigetsu, having 2 characters, one of them clearly beating Dangai. The second one has to be Aizen. And then we get the actual reveal, and it was not what we were expecting, but it was hype. I love this. So we have the start of the trailer. We have Ichigo speaking, right? I'm not sure if he's referencing some of the poems, but we have Full Hollow Ichigo. We have Mugetsu. At this point, we're thinking, okay, they're going to give us a new Dangai Ichigo. But then, boom, out of nowhere, Full Hollow, what? It's not Aizen? But the drop is so sick. Drop is so sick. There you go. I don't want to pause it, but I have to pause it. Final gets a contention version, and then we can see what the quotes were. Absolute victory and complete silence. But that drop is still so hard to this day. And then we get to see the Soul Bomb. Still some of the best Soul Bombs in the entire game. Absolutely beautiful. Furious power and emotion. No one saw the Full Hollow Ichigo come in, but he came, and still to this day, one of the best Soul Bombs. They absolutely peaked with this anniversary. The 2 characters are sick, and it goes to show how amazing these characters were in terms of just the hype building up to this event, because these aren't original forms. To this day, this is still the only anniversary to not be original characters for the most part, and I guess if there's one anniversary to do that, it's going to be 2 of Ichigo's coolest forms, Mugetsu and also Full Hollow. And the trailer, I think, did a great job. Like, the whole trailer itself is just great. Ichigo speaking, you have the slow song to it, building it up. Shatter Fate, obviously iconic line. And then boom, you get the reveal. The music just makes all the better. This OST for the anniversary isn't my favorite, but when it comes to the trailer, it's definitely, to this day, still my favorite trailer, because right up until the end, we really didn't know who the characters would be. I think many others were still expecting Aizen, and we got Full Hollow and Mugetsu. And that was, again, exciting. It wasn't original forms, it was 2 Ichigos, but it was still, nonetheless, very exciting. And this trailer basically showed us on the characters. Next up, though, we have the 5th anniversary character. So this one was really cool. We got like a little vintage. In this case, we have the date building up, starting with 2nd Annie Ichigo, 3rd anniversary Okura. Again, they don't include the new Quincy Ichigo, right? And then we get the 2 of 4th anniversary characters. And that's it. That's it. This was very limited on the hints. And in this case, we don't even get the new OST too. This is already a reused OST. Nothing that we haven't heard before. And this one in particular was just really hard to work on. What was the hint? And the hint in the end was this right here, the white and black. Now, there was a few things that people were going off of, right? In my case, I know when it came to my prediction, I was thinking this circle in the middle was the Hogaku, and that meant Anniversary Aizen. But at this point, I was calling Anniversary Aizen for basically years. Some people thought this would be Grimjaw because I believe there was a certain page in the manga where it was basically half black, half white, and had a bunch of text, and it was about Grimjaw. So a lot of people thought it'd be Grimjaw, but at the same time, a lot of people also did realize straight away that this was Ichigo and Byakuya because the clash, when they clash together, one side is black, one side is white. And again, rare case, we got a second trailer this time on my birthday, July 10th. This one basically told us quite clearly who the character was. So it starts off, we have this. Again, I thought it was a Hogaku. But then we have the 2 clashes. A warrior needs strength, pride. You have the 2 blades slowly coming together. Watch closely. The music kicks in. I think this is the first time we've heard it. And then once more ends the same way the first one ended. But this one was, you know, clear as day. And funny I say that because when I watched it, I didn't know who it was. But it was clearly, obviously, Byakuya. Strength, pride. You have the 2 blades clashing together. Everyone saw that this was going to be Byakuya versus Ichigo. Now, at the same time, when this got shown, I remember being a tad bit disappointed because that's not that exciting. Ichigo versus Byakuya for an anniversary. And the reason why is because literally, like, what, 6 months prior to this trailer, we ended up getting a Bankai Ichigo from that particular fight. And the reason why we had that initial disappointment because the past anniversary, 4th Annie, was actually, you know, not original characters. It was Mugetsu and also Full Hollow. And it was for that reason, and maybe I was in the minority, I'm not sure, but I think a lot of people had the same mindset, is that this was going to be more just canon characters, Ichigo and Byakuya, but would be really stupid OP. And the trailer basically confirms it, right? We start off, Sokuku Hill, Byakuya's talking. We know at this point, Ichigo versus Byakuya. We readied ourselves for it though. I was still excited nonetheless. Then the music starts to play. It's getting us excited. We're getting a repeat of the last trailer. And then out of nowhere, boom. Original characters are back. This came out of nowhere. I was super excited for this. That's what I kind of like too. Again, I did not expect original forms. Nowadays, we expect original forms, right? It's kind of the standard for an anniversary. But since the last anniversary characters were not original, and then the past trailers themselves were clearly hinting at, you know, the Byakuya vs Ichigo fight, I was not expecting this. And seeing this form looked sick. And in the music too, this time they actually hired actual musicians to play the song for the 5th anniversary. And then Byakuya, a soul reaching new heights, kickstarting the Beyond Bankai that other captains eventually saw. I wasn't really that excited for Byakuya, but when I saw this, they had me. They had me. This was super exciting. And then once more ends exactly how the last 2 trailers end, the black and white. This time revealing the characters, Byakuya on the left, Ichigo on the right. Super exciting time once more. Anniversaries are always exciting. This one though, I think was just super hype because again, not everyone was expecting original forms. They came back and they came back with an absolute bang. Then Judgment Day came. 6th anniversary. At this point, the community was tired. We needed an anniversary Aizen. We've been asking for years. We didn't get it the previous years. Now is surely the time we were going to get it. And it started off great because endlessly deepening, clearly giving off the vibe of a villain. You know, we have the choir coming on, or the church music, I guess, going up to the anniversary. This felt intimidating. And then it ends with the 6. This felt like a big bad villain is about to enter Brave Souls, and it did. Obviously, we found out later that it did. Now, in this case, we didn't know how many anniversary characters there would be. After the 4th anniversary, we had 2 characters. 4th Annie had 2 characters, 5th Annie had 2 characters, and we were expecting a second trailer because this one only hinted at 1 character. If we go back to the 5th anniversary, for example, I guess the first character trailer was hinting at both characters, but it was hard to say if we were going to get 2 characters or not. But the second trailer came around, it clearly confirmed 2 characters, and I believe they also outright said to us too there there was going to be 2 characters. When it came to the 6th anniversary, we only had 1 quote. And when it comes to quotes, right, again, 4th anniversary example, if we have 2 quotes, we have 2 characters. In this case, we had 1 quote, therefore that meant only 1 character. And that was a bit disappointing, right? That we were only getting 1 character, but nonetheless, the hype was still there because this was clearly hinting at an anniversary Aizen, surely. But out of nowhere, before the anniversary even started, this came out. Now, this is technically an anniversary character. We have, this was actually leaked beforehand. The character itself, the artwork, Ichigo, his art was actually in the app icon for Steam. It got put into the game earlier than intended, so we thought this was the character for the anniversary. But then when we logged in, I think a few days before July 15th, Ichigo's birthday, this trailer played. It was, again, super exciting. It was our first remake of an anniversary character, and it's a cool form. I think it's the least exciting of all the anniversary characters. It's the most basic in my opinion. But seeing the character in a new pose, new gameplay, new sub was, again, equally as exciting. And this wasn't for the anniversary. Now, technically, every year we get 2 anniversary characters. This was basically the 6th anniversary's 2nd character, right? He's equally paired with Anniversary Aizen. He has his own Brave Fest. He's clearly an anniversary character since he essentially got the anniversary treatment. But at the same time, he is essentially a one-off character. The reason why they made him was for the art book. And it's cool too, like, as we get our first introduction to this particular character with this particular trailer, they're drawing him, right? This was in a way to promote their art book that they did sell a couple years back. I, of course, still have mine, but this was fun too because, again, we knew this character existed. It was leaked beforehand on the app icon. We just didn't know if the character was real because sometimes the app icons really could just be for an app icon. It doesn't have to bring us a new character. So to see this character actually is a real character was, again, equally hype. But, of course, that hype fails in comparison to the moment we all been waiting for, 6th anniversary. At this point, we were all sold there has to be Aizen. And, like, the hype that this trailer brought, it wasn't even the fact that, oh, surprise, it was Aizen. It was the fact that we finally got Aizen because we've been begging for this for years, and then that was the moment, right? Obviously, the trailer starts off with the Hogaku, but the nervousness was like, surely they're not going to not do it again. And then we see the Aizen, so cool, it morphs into the new Aizen, and then boom, without fear, Aizen, the music kicks in. This music came out of nowhere. No way did I expect this song would come from the actual trailer. And then boom, the design to this day is still my favorite anniversary, favorite reveal almost, because this is what we were waiting for. The community have been begging this for years, and we finally got it. I transcend everything. Then we get a look back on the past Aizens. I always love when they do that. And boom. So hyped. This is probably the most hyped anniversary trailer to date. Like, nothing can top this, right? Aizen is the most popular villain in Bleach. We've been asking for a character like this for years, and we finally got it, and the wait was worth it. This character was absolutely broken. The trailer itself was absolutely amazing. The design itself was amazing. This character was an absolute treat, and the 6th anniversary was a fun time to play the game just for this character alone. But then, that takes us to last year, the 7th anniversary trailer. Now, in this case, it starts off with a super somber tone. We see the floor. There's raindrops. It felt beautiful in a way. That was like the best way to describe this trailer. We're going through it. The rain. It felt... I don't know how to feel. It wasn't hype. But that's not what it was trying to go for. It was trying to be like an emotional trailer. And then we get the one text. Resounding prides. And that's it. 2022. Then the 7th anniversary text comes in and we get some slashes. Now, this was super funny because there was a lot of predictions going around if you were playing at the time. Now, for a lot of people, we thought this was clearly talking about the TLA arc. It felt like this was the road. Now, my prediction at the time was that this is Ichigo. Ichigo lost his powers, and resounding prides, Pride of the Kuchikis, Rukia. I thought Anniversary Rukia, but at the same time, this could easily go for Uryu, for example, the Pride of the Quincies. There was definitely a few names being thrown around, but the big question for me, I think many others, was how many characters are we going to get? Because while it's true every year since basically the 4th anniversary, we got 2 anniversary characters, last year, it was a bit of a weird one. We technically got 2 characters, but we technically only got 1 anniversary character. Are Caleb only going to do 1 anniversary character from now on? And that was the big problem with this trailer. If this really was hinting at Uryu, ain't no way he's going to be the only anniversary character. And the reason why we only thought there was 1 character is because from past examples, if we get 2 characters, there's either 2 trailers or there's 2 quotes. In this case though, and this pretty much proves it, even if we get 1 quote, it can be talking about both of the characters. And in this case, that's what this was talking about. It was the theming of the banner, not the character in particular. The theme was Resounding Pride, and it was talking about, of course, the 2 7th anniversary characters. And I didn't mention it yet, but a common character a lot of people were hoping for every year, and I get it's kind of getting to the point like Aizen was Grimmjow. Grimmjow was again predicted for the 4th anniversary because of the trailer, the 5th anniversary, the 6th anniversary, and now of course even the 7th anniversary. Since we did have these slashes, people thought it'd be Pantera. So it would be kind of funny if this upcoming anniversary does end up teasing a Grimmjow and then it ends up not being Grimmjow. I feel like he's a contender for this upcoming anniversary. But of course, a month later, we then get the reveal. And again, this one's super hyped too. Because remember, at the time, we didn't know if there was going to be 2 characters. The music is the exact same. We have the rain. Then it starts building up. This is the most hype part for me of this trailer was the build up. And boom, we get our first sign of a character. Can't make out how he was going to be. Boom, shocker. There's a second character. Oh my god, it's Ichigo. Who else is there? It's Uryu. And I wanted the anniversary Rukia, but seeing this design was, it's beautiful. I love this design. It's nothing super crazy, but it's so slick and clean. And that's essentially what, what Uryu and Quincy's are, right? And then we get Uryu. I was gassed. I wasn't a believer for an anniversary Uryu, but this sold it on me. And the music is the best part of the trailer. And bro, I'm really hoping the upcoming anniversary can keep up to date with these music, because the OSTs that we've been getting for every anniversary has been top tier, although they have big shoes to fill, because this trailer right here, this OST was absolutely amazing. Still to this day, my favorite OST in the game. I don't know if next year can top it. This year, literally 2 days away. If they can though, they can have done a good job. Once more, the standard, right? The standard of going back, looking at the past characters, going through Ichigo and Uryu, the boys, and then boom and boom. Sick trailer. The sky ends, we see it, and it ends with these 2 characters. And by the way, just to throw out, one of my predictions why I thought it was Rukia 2 was that it was raining because Ichigo lost his powers. That's when Rukia comes in and gives him the powers, right? And I said the trailer would end with the sky being cleared up. And we literally got that. It just wasn't for Rukia, right? But I didn't mind it. I think the big thing with this trailer, and obviously this 7th anniversary, was, are we getting 2 characters? And now that we got 1 quote, we know that for the most part, there's probably going to be 2 characters. So in this upcoming anniversary teaser trailer, less than 2 days away, if we only get 1 quote, it could still easily mean 2 characters. But who would those 2 characters be? We're going to find out. Again, there's definitely a few possibilities. I feel like the character at the top of the list right now is going to be Rukia. She is the most popular character in the series, in the game, that has yet to get an original form. Other names that people are throwing around is Rukia, Orihime, and of course also Grimmjow. And there are possibilities, but I feel like Rukia has the chance here. But at the same time, if it ends up not being Rukia, I'm fine with that. I'd like to be surprised, and that's exactly what we got with this particular trailer. I was hoping for Rukia, but we ended up getting Uryu and Ichigo, and I wasn't disappointed. They looked cool. The OST was cool. It was hype. And with that said, that was the video for today, lads. Hope you guys enjoyed this trip down memory lane looking at the past anniversary trailers. In the comments below, once more, let me know what your favorite trailer is. For me, it's hard to say. I like the 4th anniversary trailer just for like the reveal of the characters itself, but I think for me, my favorite will always be, my favorite moment in BBS is probably this moment right here, when we saw Anniversary Aizen. We just waited for it for years, and they didn't disappoint. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll see you guys next time. Take care, and peace.